Unist today. It's hopefully going to be a bit of a shorter stream. We're going to be kind of looking at some of the replays from last week and going over basically how I go about at least learning from some of my replays. First, I'm going to kind of see how do I want to do this. I can go over that a little bit later. But I'm mostly going to, at least one of the things I tend to struggle with is hit confirms, and I have a spreadsheet, a Google Sheet that I made available in the description below this video. You can click on burp face to direct link there to follow along. I only, like 5 minutes before the video started, that I started streaming, I kind of thought of a way that I could go about this, that I could do it all on my computer, and then I could actually partition off the screen and have my my data that I'll be collecting along the way visible for everyone within the stream. I kind of have to leverage some screen real estate there. Figure out, not sure how exactly I would do that, but keep it all on the computer. It would give me a rewind button, because I believe that the in-game replay theater does not have a way to replay or rewind footage. There's only like step forwards, and it would also allow me to basically show off that the information that I'm collecting as I'm collecting it. Yes, this is a Japanese version. I've technically had this since like July of last year, but didn't really have anyone to play with. But anyway, for people just joining in, let's see. I'm going to be recording some combo confirmed information in a spreadsheet, a Google Sheet that's available below in the description under the video. You can just click on the burp face image for a direct link, kind of follow along as I fill stuff in. I've done a replay analysis like this for myself and for a friend in BlazBlue, and I saw some pretty substantial improvements in myself just by kind of looking over those sorts of things, and it helped me focus where I actually want to practice. And yeah, he did. My friend Zepha did do more matches as Mika. I just picked out a bunch to kind of sample around. Kind of picking at random from like the middles of most of these sets. I just picked 5 for now to try to keep things a little on the shorter side. If I finish those up and decide I still have a decent amount of time left, I can go back over here and pull some more. There's even some back here, which I think was Matt and myself. But let me see here. Just real quick, since I kind of covered some of the neutral back and play while I was actually playing some of these matches. And when you're watching replays, it can be a little more helpful to focus on one particular aspect that you want to improve on at the start, and then you kind of watch through the entire replay, focusing on that aspect. For me, I'm going to start with hit confirms, and to that, as I said, I'm using this spreadsheet. I'm going to be recording the starter, the first attack that started a combo, I'm going to record whether it was a air confirm, whether I hit my opponent while he was in the air, a standing, or crouching, because all three of those open up different routes, and even if the starter's the same, they lead to different combos. For instance, if I hit them with a 5B when they're standing, I'll go into a different route than if I catch them with a 5B when they're jumping. I'm going to record if it's a counter hit or not. It's not quite as big of a deal in this game as it is in BlazBlue, but you can do some extra stuff off counter hit starters. And I know already that that's something that I already don't really know how to actually expand on right at the moment. I'd have to look up counter hit specific starters. But again, it's not as weighted as it is in BlazBlue, where the difference between a counter hit starter and a non-counter hit starter could mean 2,000 to 3,000 damage. Though that's a little more towards the fatal counters. I'm also going to record whether or not I dropped the combo, because that's pretty important as well. Combos that I drop frequently are combos that I want to look into, seeing how I can refine into a way that either if I can change the route to make it easier to do, or if it's just something that I need to practice. How can you start with a counter? I'm not sure what you mean there. Can you rephrase that? Reliably start with a counter? Don't mean reliably so much, but if you recognize that your first hit was a counter hit, then you can go into a different route. Perhaps more relevantly, if you baited a DP, a Dragon Punch, then that is one of those cases where you know fairly well in advance that you're going to get a counter hit starter that you can do something more with. If you intentionally whiff punish something, it's hard to say that that's reliably, but that is an instance where you can kind of go into a combo beforehand knowing that your starter is going to be counter hit. But yeah, starter, confirm, counter hit, drop. I'm also going to record the damage, just kind of for my sake. It helps me see where I'm getting damage or where I might be able to get more damage by perhaps better optimizing a combo or looking for a different route. And then I'm going to also I have a section there for notes, just whether or not it's the end of a round, so a combo might get cut short. If I use an EX special or a super, that would explain why the damage is higher, so on and so forth. About as, mashing predictably is about as reliable a counter hit as you can get, but okay, so start with this match. So this was several matches in, but we're so let me. Do I have? Okay, I've got button. I might have to redo this one because I'm not still kind of getting used to this game's replay theater. What controls do I actually have here? I've got a pause. I actually don't have nearly as much as I thought I did. Alright, let me restart this one. Oki's important in any fighting game. Yeah, BlazBlue had a much more robust replay theater. And we both whiffed there. I got a 6-6-B, though it definitely wasn't a hit that I was expecting to hit like that. It was an air confirm. It was not a counter hit. And I did drop it. Yeah, I mentioned, or I didn't mention, but I thought of that a little too late, like 5 minutes before I started the stream. I was like, if I just re-recorded the matches that I wanted to analyze, I could bring it into the computer and have a rewind button. I could pause it a little more fluidly. In hindsight, I will do that the next time I do it. But for now, I'm kind of stuck with this. But yeah, that 6-6-B, I don't know about as a starter, but I do know that there are 6-6-B loops that that are possible. I don't think off of a hit that high would have worked, but I think I probably could have jump canceled into something I might have actually attempted, but didn't react to it quickly enough. I got hit that time. Trying to interrupt his jumping. So there was I think that was a 5B confirm on a standing non-counter hit. It wasn't invalid, so I think I apparently did something wrong there. I did get all the way into that buff, so I don't consider that dropped though. Alright. So that was a counter hit. JB, I think. Though he pretty much hit the ground intact, so I'm not sure there was anything I could have picked up with there. Well, maybe. I might have actually been able to do like a OTG there. So that was a 2-1-4. And an air hit. So this is something I think I could have potentially picked up. Maybe. Maybe not if it wasn't charged. Air. JB. That was dropped. That was dropped. That was a 5A starter. And that one I dropped. Though... I think some of the later matches I was encountering some lag that was messing with my timing, but I don't think it had started by the Mika matches, so that was just probably me messing up. However, I did get another 5A shortly thereafter. It was perhaps one of those happy little resets. And it ended the round. The unexpected air hit 5A. 5A having as little hit stun as it has, I definitely did not react to that in time. Was trying to pick him out of the air as well, but I picked the wrong thing. It was a DP, but without Vorpal I can't actually combo off of it. So that was a counter hit 5B. And I did get a full combo off of that. I wasn't fully paying attention to what Mika did there. But she can air C into her force function, which is that diving thing, because it counts as a special. So yes, you can do that. Her air string is generally CBAA into dive kick, though. So he was pushing buttons, and I got a meaty 2B. Standing. Do another full combo. I tried to do a little bit more with it. CBAA, then it's B and C at the same time. 236 is her, kind of like her rocket dash. 4-6. I attempted another jump in. Tried to use that to reset pressure, but it was a little too far. Then I ran into that. Whiff punish 5B. Though I did not. Well, actually, the numbers are purple, so that. No, never mind. That was just the effect. That was non-counter hit. I am pretty far away here. I drop it because I didn't adjust to that distance well enough. So this was where I was kind of using overhead to try to open him up, but I didn't have enough of a plan afterwards to actually do anything afterwards if he had blocked it. If you mean Mika, I'm not sure. As I said, I'm not paying full attention to what Mika's doing. Without going back and rewatching that, I unfortunately can't tell you. So I missed a lot of the damage information I was looking for, but I did get some of what I wanted, and just from this I had a lot of drops, which I kind of was expecting. I'm still kind of figuring out this character. Though a lot of them were also just from kind of wonky neutral situations. It's like that aerial 6-6B and random 5A. Well, there's just one match, so let's move on to the next one and see. Need to go a little bit more. It's not a J66B, it's just 66B. Dash B. There's dash B, dash C for every character. Alright, so oops. Me trying to compete with Orie's neutral pokes. That was a long range, almost max range 2C, and what can you kind of have to know that one's coming. Let me see here, max range was stand, I think that was counter hit, but it grid broke. Which I'm not sure why he was hitting. I think he was trying to shield. But then I assault, jump. I think that was an assault. Assault JC and opened him up. That's a crouch confirm. I think Mika was not in the original game. I'm actually not entirely sure if crouching stun is like in Blaze Blue, because I very rarely see crouch confirm combos in combo lists for characters. Though there's also a lot of launching and so on. Alright, let's see what the rest of this. I had a 5A in there, so that ended up prorating the combo a little further than I should have. I think if I had not included that 5A near the start, I could have actually finished that one. So I have at this point figured out that my 2B has deceptively long range, and I was successfully poking a lot with it, so I keep trying it here. One of the few things that I had that was successfully counter poking orie. So that was a counter hit 5B. Crouching confirm. Though it is pretty far, and yeah, I was kind of autopiloting my normals there, and that actually I don't think that would have worked even on a normal confirm, because I need a launcher to go into 6C. So I kind of already know why that one didn't quite work, and then yeah, I got counter poked. His orie has good poking range and fast pokes as well. Gotta get buff. (6XB). I see I got another confirm of that, and then didn't know what to do with it. So I already can tell from these two matches that I do occasionally get 6XB hits, and so one of the things I'm going to do in the future, training mode wise, is go and find out what I can confirm into a combo off of 6XB. Because apparently I'm hitting that in neutral, so I want to be able to capitalize on any damage I can get off from it. So I knew I could do my 6C overhead slow startup, but I can cancel it into specials. Well, that was interesting. JB counter hit. Can I actually? I did actually follow. Oh no, I think that reset because it's back down to 2 hits. It was a 2A. Yeah, orie is very much Mitsuru-like, though She does. She's got a. Well, she also has a persona too, right? I know that crosses through, but I don't think that reset. I got 2600 damage, but I did use an EX in that there to get an extension. I did manage to recognize that I started that off of a light starter, so that I was not going to try to go for something more complicated as I follow up to the EX move, even though it sets you up for something more if you've got a less prorated combo. I was near the end of my combo time, which is more of a Blaze Blue thing, but still kind of applies here. My opponent only kind of knows what he's doing with Orie. I got a grab. I'm not gonna record that because even if you do chain shift off of grab, actually you can't chain shift off of grab, and you can't combo off of her grab at all. So actually I can record it just to say that I got it, but that was a counter hit 5C. If I had expected that, like if I had done it after a DP, then I'm pretty sure I know you can get big damage off this. And I did pretty much nothing. Tried to go into a launcher when I was already out of range. So 5B, but I was pretty much at max range, and I think it was still autopiloting the wrong stuff. There we go, that was kind of what I was hoping for when I used that in neutral. Unfortunately, without meter and without the buff, I can't actually combo off of that. Oh. Alright, so add in that match, and still have a lot of dropped combos. I did kind of pick these at random, and I know that there were some of them in there that I did a lot better of a job confirming, but at the same time, seeing the stuff that I struggled with is also helpful to know what I need to focus on. There were several combos in that last round where I dropped because I was either autopiloting a block string, or was, even though I had actually gotten the hit already, I hadn't confirmed fully yet in my head that I was actually hitting, and then went with the wrong route. Or because I was not minding my ranges and had started a combo from nearly max range and went for a route that one of the attacks whiffed. Didn't adjust for that properly. So that kind of add to the list of stuff to focus on next to 66B confirms is also max range, 5B, 2C confirms. Stuff that helps, need to figure out something to help me move a little bit closer before continuing with the combo. And I think I have some ideas using her drill charge. The fire drill is one way if I've got either meter to do EX afterwards, or if I've got the buff that allows me to follow up meterlessly. Both of those options would be better suited for those situations. Let's see. Say off of a max range 2C. It's hard to react to that with some of the other things you can do. I think you can 2C, 2A, and then run up and pick up with like a 2B. But that also might prorate the combo a little more than is worth. But at max range, that 3C like I had attempted, the shield launcher was definitely in a whiff. So need to not do that. I think I kind of have a bit of a habit at this point for trying to do that after a 2C because that's a common combo route. But you do kind of have to be up close already for it. So that was 6-6C starter, and it did actually go into the. I did actually go into the follow-up that I was probably planning on from there. It charged 2 on 4A. Though I don't. I did get. That was basically the full combo. That's about the extent of what you can do with it without meter. There we go, there's that 2B again, doing work with its range. And I actually did get a confirm off of it. Cool. Into a full combo with the buff. Yeah, one of the things I had tried in an earlier match that I showed and failed with at the time was that confirm. Drill into the follow-up when I have the buff allows me to combo off of it, as you should hopefully see momentarily. There we go. I tried to do a little bit more damage there, but basically rinse and repeat as long as he keeps falling for it there. Yeah, I finished it off that. That was a 2A. But yeah, at this point I had kind of figured out my combos. I even recognized there that the 2A starter was going to drop, and I just cut myself short. I didn't get as full of a combo as I'd wanted, but that was an intentional drop, because I knew if I had attempted anything else, he might tech out early and I'd whiff something and get smacked for it. Actually, I need to note that. So get that buff and yeah, capitalize off this again. Since it's one of the few things that I'm able to kind of get in on quickly, it's a very useful tool for this particular matchup where the normals just kind of outrange me constantly. Another 2A when I'm actually in. That time I did not have the buff, at the, so I couldn't actually follow up on that one. So that I kind of consider that it's not technically a drop, but badly optimized. But yeah, if you thought Orie's range was kind of ridiculous, Phonon's kind of puts it to shame there. poking with that 2B, and I actually got one. Counter hit. But for some reason here, that max range 2B, I did not connect with that follow-up like I expected to. And I'm wondering if I might be able to microdash and catch it. But that is something to look into. What conditions does that particular combo route cause a drop in that particular spot, as opposed to where it works normally? I've got full meter here. Can I actually do something? So I did get him with the charged force function. Whether he was trying to poke out after that and I frame trapped him, or... No, I think he was respecting it, because the charge version is a little bit slower, but it does hit overhead. However, 5B is not the correct follow-up there. I have a feeling this drops, yeah. Good old drill. Alright, so dropped a fair bit less, but I dropped new things for different reasons, and that's interesting in itself. The 2B into the shield charge, normally I can pick up with 5B or even 6B if I'm quick. Yeah, she's kind of similar. They both have that charging forward special, though Wagner's is a lot more useful than Tsubaki's in neutral. Wagner doesn't have any projectiles, and Tsubaki has bad projectiles, but she's got projectiles. Wagner doesn't have any Rekkas, though. So this one's next. Wagner's also not going blind as far as I know. So that was an attempt at the same thing I started the last video that we watched, which is interesting because these are not in a row. Unfortunately, I actually dropped that time. Do a little bit of wiggle here. Trying to figure out his openings, because he doesn't really have to respect mine when I'm at that range. Try to get in, yep, and I do. At this point in the sets, I was pretty comfortable with this starter. So that's technically not a drop, but I do remember getting that DP instead of a different ender several times. So I'm going to make a note of that. It's not awful, like I think it does more damage than what I was trying to go for, but it doesn't leave me nearly as good a positioning, which actually the positioning is not awful, but I really like to end combos in a way that I can pick up one of the two buffs that can help improve my pressure on the next block string, or improve the combo on the next hit confirm. I think that was a 2A. So I'm not going to get much off of this. Or not. I got a full combo. I think I might have remembered that starter wrong. Because I don't think I should get all of that off of 2A. I mean, I just let him jump out. I probably should not have attempted that drill there. Not only because it whiffed entirely, but because I had already lost the buff that would allow me to capitalize on it, so I would have gotten a little bit of damage and maybe a bit of positioning at best, which is not awful, but... Okay, so that was force function, frame trap. However, because I did the frame trap version, the uncharged one that came out faster, it didn't cause the stun that I needed to actually do the combo I was thinking of doing afterwards. So basically that tells me I need to, when I plan to use that as a frame trap, I need to have a different combo in my mind prepared to actually capitalize on it if it does work. I had kind of autopiloted into the into the charged version combo route, and it dropped because there simply was not enough stun. Hey look, a 6-6B, but I did actually capitalize on that one, partially because it was standing. But I did not remember until then that the grounded version does cause a knockback. It's this particular kind of knocks them onto their butt. It's not like a true knockdown, but it does allow me to follow up with what I did at the end there. So that was drill doing work as usual. I used a super or an EX move to kind of add to it. Didn't get as much damage as I should have for having spent meter, but it was the follow-up was because I don't think I had the buff. 2A. So this time it actually worked. And again, like before, I cut it off because I knew off the 2A starter I wasn't gonna get as much, so rather than try to continue combo where it might end up dropping, I just opted for the buff. He is not blocking low, is he? A little surprised I got that much damage off of 2A starter. Especially getting up the full combo. Counter hit, 2-3-6 drill. Though that does not the follow-up I had intended, though. I think I probably could have actually done something off that one. Just sit and block stun for a bit. I don't think he knew what to do that close to the corner. What was it, 2A? 2A or 2B starter? But round in kind of means, doesn't really mean much. Alright, been about 45 minutes here. Do this one and then we'll see. Yeah, it very well could be. I might be. It may require like very specific routes. Like I picked something right at that last one, but I know that previous combos that I had been doing, I was starting to get invalid combos fairly early before the point where I would normally finish a combo, that particular combo, if it had started from a 5B. I think it was is that a 5B counter hit starter? I think it was one of these unintentional frame traps, but it did drop. He actually mashed me out of my overhead. That was 5A. That was too far to actually do anything with, but autopiloting into overhead 6C actually got me a hit. Not one that I deserved, but I'll take it. Except I didn't. Though that might have been a lag thing. That kind of looked like, let's see, I didn't turn on the buttons, but that looked like me trying to go 5B into 6B, and 5B never came out, so I just got 6B too late. And then I try again, and I should have just backed off or gone for something else. Sometimes you can jump over her whips if she's going for something specific. This is the only DP chain shift that I actually capitalized on. Yeah, it is. It's not as good of a combo as I could have done, but it was a technically full combo. Try to get buff so that I can do this, except I didn't actually execute that properly. He's dropping stuff too. Hey look, 6-6B. Though, again, like that previous overhead starter, it looks like I was probably trying to go for a 5B, 6B, and the 5B never came out. Don't know why I tried to do 6B there, but it got me a frame trap, or just a counter hit. That wasn't really an intentional frame trap. 6B. And yeah, so I think based on those few exchanges, I think this was one of the matches that I was kind of struggling with lag, because there were several combos here that I dropped because I missed a section in between two attacks, especially since I had been getting it fairly consistently earlier, if you remember the last two matches. He was trying to ping my last pixel of health, and I don't really have any answer to that. 2A starter. But it looked like I tried for something a little bit more and didn't get it. I missed what I nicked with there, but I dropped whatever it was. Oh, this meter, nothing actually safe to do with it. I'm not sure I could have even guard cancelled, because she's so far away. That was a 236A drop. Assault 5C on an aerial opponent, and I actually confirmed off of it. Assault JC, I should say. Except because it was kind of odd, I didn't get close enough. 1380. Yeah, phonon is it's a battle of patience. Though I imagine is just as bad as fighting Hilda. Hilda might be worse, because she can do it from even further. Okay, so I got through all 5 of those. I didn't get as thorough of information as I had wanted, but trying to do this live, I don't really want to go back and rewatch them as thoroughly as I might on my own. And if I can port them to export it back to my computer where I have a rewind option, it'll make things a little more thorough as well. I can confirm what I actually started certain combos with, because was a little slow to pick up on some of them sometimes. But as far as for like hit confirm stuff goes, this is kind of how I go about using replays. As I said before, start yeah, timestamps also would be a thing. Not sure how much. I don't generally. As far as I was seeing, I couldn't find a pause that wasn't the menu. The only button that seems to be doing anything is that square button that brings up your inputs, which is neat to see, but without any other options. Yeah, even from this menu, there's no way of hiding it, because these are the only 2 options: close or return to the replay theater. So it's definitely bare bones as far as a replay theater options go. But from here, I would kind of go into training mode and see. Let's take a quick look at that 66B, since I got a few of those. Just use Hyde as my training dummy. So that actually doesn't cause that knockdown like I thought. So I think I'm probably going to have to, yeah, something like that. Use a special cancel. So that's something I can do if I get one of these. Actually, let me check this. Okay, it does 2 hits. That probably increases. Can I link a 5B out? Yeah. Oh. No, it doesn't look like I can link a 5B after that. I can do a 5A, but not sure if that's something I should be using. It's pretty tricky too. That's going to be, at least in a online environment, that's something like this is going to be a much more reliable option to follow that up. So what else do I have here? I've got a max range 2C. So that doesn't work. If I've got meter, if I've got meter, I can pretty much confirm anything into the something like that. This. That's pretty universal. Is there anything? My micro dash skill's not really helping me right now. That might actually work. Just charging 5C from like a max range 2B. So that actually works, mostly. I can't actually get the 2C off that. So too far away to do that. So, but taking the information that I learned from the replays, seeing the stuff that I dropped combos for, seeing the stuff that I failed to confirm off entirely, 6B for example, I take that information, bring it into training mode. I have a focus for what I actually can use this training mode time to refine, and then when you go back and play, you come across a situation, oh, I can actually do something off of this. So, you can also use replays to kind of examine other things, like your neutral play, and where your pressure, how you handled your pressure. Like I made note while we were watching some of the replays that I had a bad habit of autopiloting something like this, and when they block everything, I can't just stop here because I got poked out a few times. I was able to adjust in the matches to actually start throwing shields after it, which gives me a small frame trap. But that's right, one of the things that I did miss was a actual combo off of this, which basically this works. I just need to be aware. I'm just aware of it now, so in the event that this situation comes up again, I have this and I can do it. And other than that, my block strings were not particularly great and not terribly innovative. So one of the other things I could do, let's see if I can find it. I don't think it's those. Those are recording slots. And there we are. Block everything. Yeah. So ending with that 2A, if I didn't start with it, or starting with 2A and then ending with 5A, if they block everything. It's just stuff to practice. There's a way to stay safe. Like I said before, even though it looks like I should be able to combo off of this, you can't. Not chain shiftable either. can't do any EX moves. Do remember failing to... Oops. Nope. No super either. And I mean, the fact that I can't just whack him on his way down is just kind of proof that he can't follow up with anything because he's kind of considered on the ground already or just invulnerable while falling. That's something. I got several DPs. It only came up I think once in the replays that we actually watched, but just from my memory, DPs with meter. I know that this is one of the ways you can follow up if you have chain shift. And not one that I'm aware of, but not very well practiced with. That's actually pretty good damage. That was almost 3,500 damage. Airy bit. Oh, okay. It's a emote that doesn't show up in the PS4 interface. But okay. Apparently, so that was, for the most part, what I kind of wanted to show. Does anyone have any questions or requests? Either if you want to see another character or something. I personally want to. My next plan is to relearn Yuzu, because she has new things, better things in this version. Can show off a few things with Mika. She's got wolf cannons. That attack. I'm actually not sure if that has any invulnerability on it. It's DP motion. I think you can. Okay, you can't aim that into the ground. Just show off her walk cycles. This is a game called Under Night in Birth. It is an anime fighter, much like BlazBlue, made by a different company though. A lot of Mika's stuff, combo-wise, as far as I remember, involves using either 3C as a launcher or picking up after her combo grab. Oh, that was too pro-aided. 5C causes a ground bounce, which you can then do stuff off of. As I said, mentioned earlier, her air string is CBAA. You just gotta get an extra A in there. And then into force function, which causes that. Which you can then cancel as soon as you hit the ground into command grab. Oops. And this can go into her super that I timed wrong. Like that. But since she has that little animation at the end of her super, the super's actually not that good unless it'll kill. Though I suppose that's most cases with the super because it costs so much meter. But a lot of her stuff kind of goes like that. She has a more complicated air route that I vaguely remember from the missions, but it did it a long time ago and I wasn't very good at it. I know there's a way to use the wolf cannon, her rocket dash kind of thing. If you do a downward one near the end, you can actually combo off of it. I'm just not sure exactly. But I've seen some other neat combos, but nothing that I know learned well enough to replicate. She's got a lot like bullets in the sense that this is a techable command grab, but it can be comboed into, and in most cases should be only comboed into because it's techable. And the way teching grabs in this works in this game, if you reject a throw, the player on defense actually has a small advantage. It's not zero neutral to both players. So getting your grab rejected is generally a bad thing. You lose pressure if they know what they're doing. EX version isn't techable, but it does have super flash to give your opponent enough time to jump, buffer a jump, and then punish you. Right. Force function like that is pretty much only useful in combos. She does have an ass attack there, which I don't remember if that actually hits overhead or not. Guard everything. Crouch. That is not overhead. Yeah. So she's not really a grappler. Not like Wald. But, yeah, as I said, more like Bullet in that regard. Oh, right. That was Dash C. It's pretty ridiculous. I believe Dash B hits overhead then low. Let me check. No, just low. So yeah, if you do that early enough, they actually can't tech until they hit the ground. If it's late in the combo, then they get an early tech. She can charge her JC. Get pick up off of it. Stuff like that. If you don't, still a decent jump in. This is a pretty good, reasonably good hitbox. JB might be a little safer. It doesn't put her hurt box out there quite as much as JC does. Yeah, Cerebella's not a bad comparison. Though Cerebella's kind of like, I think kind of like Android 16. No, I don't know Android 16 well enough. I've only been spectating that game. But yeah, Cerebella has actual command throws, as non-techable command throws as well, though. So I still think Bullet is probably the best comparison, because Bullet only has one true command grab. That's not a super. Also, Mika has like no crouching animation. This is her crouch. So I suppose that technically means she might be more susceptible to fuzzies. Fuzzy guard break. Because she's crouching, but her box hasn't actually shrunk much, so it's a lot easier to hit her with aerial attacks. She's got the kind of a key blast on her B. I mostly see it in combos. It's got a lot of range, but because you have to do B first, it's not really fast enough to be used as a reliable poke. You can follow up. Yeah, I think you probably have to follow up with meter there. Yeah, she is adorable though. No denying that there. Might also be worth noting is she doesn't have a sweep. This is her 2C. These are all of her lows. So you kind of actually have to launch into something for a knockdown, or use her command grab. But that's not quite as big of a deal in this game as it is in other games, because aerial techs don't enable the opponent to do something in the air before they hit the ground. She doesn't have a sweep, but she does still have lows. Like, these still hit low. I'm wondering if that actually hits overhead. Oops. There we go. It does not hit overhead. That doesn't. So her dash C is overhead, but charge C is not. But attack isn't. Faceplant isn't. Yeah, she doesn't really have much in the way. She doesn't have anything really in the way of standing overheads. And Q5C. What do I have as? I don't think I have a simple re. Oh yeah, this thing. It is interesting. I don't think it's particularly useful. It's not an overhead, it's not a grab. Oh, wait. Do I... It is an overhead. I don't know how to manipulate the dummy settings well enough to actually get that to replicate, because... Oh, no, she is crouching. I don't think that's an overhead. Let me see here. That was the one that I... Oh no, you're right, it is. So crouching, there we go. I had the guard switching on because it's attached to a different different setting than I'm used to. Anything else you'd want to know? Oh, yeah, you've never actually played Unil, have you? So in the middle, there are those little grid marks, and they're just called grid. And basically, at its simplest, it is a reflection of the momentum of the match. You gain slowly by advancing. You lose by retreating. You can charge it manually with just standing D, and certain other actions like you gain a chunk for doing assault, which is this kind of command hop, which is 6D. And basically the advantage of having grid is when that circle fills, I believe it's every 16 seconds, 16 to 17 seconds. I don't know how they decided on that number, but it's roughly around that time. Whoever has the most grid gains this aura that you see around Mika at the moment called Vorpal State. And when you have Vorpal, you do 10% extra damage, and you have the access to, I believe, 2, maybe 3 new unique universal options. Well, I think one key universal option being chain shift. So chain shift is like a rapid cancel, except it gives you meter instead of taking meter, but you can only do it when you have this Vorpal stance. So you can use it to, let me see here. Use it to cancel, make an extend a combo. You saw me with Wagner using it to cancel her DP and actually combo off of it. So, for example. But the fact that you need that Vorpal stance, that Vorpal aura in order to use it, and it consumes that aura as well, is what balances out its strength. It gives you meter based on how much grid you actually have. See if I can find the grid settings. So let me build up a bit. So then it feeds steadily into the bar. That's the other advantage of chain shift. And a lot of advanced players also use this Vorpal stance because the chain shift just kind of as a momentary pause, because it has a super flash. It freezes the action on the screen for a moment, and it allows them to kind of take stock of what's going on, because the game's fast-paced and it can be pretty confusing, especially if you're on the defense being rushed down. Defensive options in the game are not stellar. It's less so that the defensive options are bad, and more so that the offensive options are very oppressive. But so he kind of hangs there for a second, as you see. I don't think in block stun you can. It's not a overdrive raid. The other, I'm not sure I can, let's see here. It's not one. Yeah, if you've got if you're basically holding your block and you're mashing D, the input for chain shift is D twice, DD. You can, it'll basically tell you where their holes in their pressure is, and if you're quick enough to react to it, you can buffer a DP. But it won't create openings where there weren't any before. If it's not already like medial on top of you or something, yeah. Jabs have startup too. Kind of reliable. You still have to find yourself in that situation, and then it's a reliable counter hit. But what else? If you're in Vorpal state, your alpha counter doesn't cost meter, it just costs your Vorpal state. If you're not in Vorpal state, then alpha counter costs 100 meter. And other than that, you gain grid faster when you're... I think you can gain it from actually... do you actually gain it from hits? Yeah, you gain it from doing combos. And I think you might gain it passively a little bit when you actually already have Vorpal State, because it does look like it's going up steadily. But you more from advancing, a little bit from doing combos, but probably most... yeah, that's right. Force function is a BC. It's a kind of a universal mechanic, though it's like drive in BlazBlue, where it's what it actually does is different for every character. But to use your force function, it does consume a grid bar. But you also gain grid more quickly. I think you gain more grid more quickly on defense against a player pressuring you than the other player's block strings generate grid. So it can also be used kind of as a comeback feature, in that it rewards good defense directly with more grid, and thus the higher chance of getting that Vorpal state and giving you either extra damage when you do find an opening, or the ability to use chain shift in order to create or recognize an opening more. And then mount a comeback from that, or to use your alpha counter to get out of pressure. Alpha counter, I think, obnoxiously is quarter circle back D in blocks stun. So you have to actually... It's just kind of not an input I'm used to for alpha counters. And so there is a barrier kind of thing. A lot of players coming from BlazBlue like to think it's like barrier, but it's actually not. Like 90% of the moves are 90% of the moves in the game are air unblockable. Yeah, I see. See ya, Randy, and I see Akatsuki use force function on defense because his is a pretty strong counter. I've seen them use it to great effect. Mika's is a fairly important combo part, at least for early stuff. I think the point of the other combo that the mission mode was trying to teach me was to have an air string that doesn't require a force function. But I'm not planning on getting to a level with Mika where I'm going to be worrying about that. Let's see, I've seen Yuzu's used in combos. Actually, Yuzu's is pretty good, pretty useful now. It's still kind of niche, but it does something new, kind of. Okay. So Yuzu's force function used to be this. I believe I think that's unblockable if it's fully charged. Yeah, that's... Lin's is actually pretty nice as well because it's a dodge. It can force a whiff and then you can punish it, especially since you can roll cancel it now. But no, you can roll cancel Lin's force function now, which means that you can punish stuff like his I wouldn't say Grim Reaper, but his 5C, his 236A pokes, those gigantic forward pokes that only hit once. You can force them to whiff and then roll out of it, and you're in range while he's still recovering. So Lin's is actually pretty good. Yeah, that's the main advantage it has over her DP. It also, I mean, if you roll out of it and they don't call you, it's also a way to get out of pressure too. You can force something to whiff punish and you roll past them, then you're out of a corner, you're out of pressure. But I wanted to also show, so I don't think Yuzu's force function did this before, but that's how it is if you just tap it, and if you hold it, it becomes this unblockable, but it's super long. The new thing you can do with it that I didn't know you could do with it before, if you could, but I discovered that you can now, is this is technically a manual way of entering her stance. She can do all of her regular stuff out of just doing force function into holding D, and it's a way of getting into her stance without committing to anything. And she's got all kinds of stuff out of it. So yeah, force functions are generally situational, and because they vary from character to character, and certain characters will do different things with them. Since you've apparently put a little more time into Enkidu, is this actually a reversal of any form? I feel like I've seen someone try to use it as such. You can cancel it before you even leave the grounds. But does he have anything that's even safe to actually cancel it into? It's got kind of bad range too. I've seen it. Yeah, it whiffs. Oh, I ran out of recording time. But yeah. I mean, I guess it's better than nothing, but it's bad even by... it's bad as a reversal, and the fact that it costs grid to even kind of takes away the fact that it's technically meterless. This is the Enkidu matchup, basically. But yeah, Enkidu has a lot of problems. I still like Seth. I think I want to move Yuzu up to higher priority in terms of learning, just because I like her, and I wanted to learn her better in the previous game. I don't know why I have this as her default color. I like other ones better. Maybe someone else picked it. Excuse me. Let's see. Yeah, Dean's cool. I like her. I liked her in Unil as well. Chaos's force function is a dodge roll as well, so that's another thing useful for forcing whiff punishes and just getting out of pressure. I'm actually not sure what Byakuya's force function is. Hyde's pretty strong. I think the game has okay balance. It's good. It's not stellar. Gordeau is ridiculous. Still, let me just show off some of his absurd normals. Grim Reaper. That entire thing is air unblockable. And very difficult to punish. Like, I think it's only punishable from point blank range. This stuff's dumb. Go put meter back on. So this is 5C. Fully charged, it's an overhead. This is 236A. I think you can... Yeah, you can... It's a lot easier to do the Rekkas on that now. I mean, the one saving grace is he does need chain shift to combo off of Grim Reaper, but that he can combo off of from max range. Stuff. I mean, his other normals are pathetically short range, but like just 5C Grim Reaper, all of it. These aren't too bad range-wise. Not awful, but just that. Got a slide too, just in case you want a low-profile stuff as well. Chargeable JC for charge feint shenanigans. Actually, I don't think that 2A isn't low. Oh, he's got... Is this... No, that's just a... Don't remember him having that before as an aerial special. Aerial 236A. B version pops him back a little bit. I think anti-airs in this game are just on hitbox alone. I don't think there's anything that like BlazBlue's attribute system. So it's closer to Guilty Gear's style of anti-airs. I do think I remember seeing things that had head invulnerability, but as I said, I think it just means that it removes the hurt box around the head area. Or if it's as generous as Guiltier, it removes your hurt box above the knee. But yeah, actually I'm just going to go back to the character select to show a bit of Hyde. I honestly don't know him very well, but I can at least kind of show his attacks. Waldstein is the grappler of the game, but A, B, C, he's got a 6A, but he's got a Hadouken. He can make it explode, I think. That's the input for that. That's one of the follow-ups. There. He can make it explode prematurely, so you get a big launch out of it. EX hits a lot, safe on block. He's got quarterback Rekkas, which I believe you can stagger and actually get a combo off of like that. It's got a DP. It's pretty standard as DPs go. Sweep. He also has this, which is kind of nuts too. I'm surprised I don't see it a little more often. I'm pretty sure he can combo off of it. Yeah, I mean the EX version is a gunflame. The non-EX version is just one hit, one place. This is his anti-air. It's nice and gigantic. I didn't realize it reached the top of the screen, at least by the way it looks. It's 3C. This is dash B. I think his dash C actually, yeah, crosses up if you're close enough. Alright, aerial projectile is a pogo stick kind of move, which I don't quite get. A version goes back, B version goes forward. And because he's got a super special sword, all of his sword attacks do chip damage on block. Autocorrect on what? Yeah, a lot of in other games, a lot of these characters would be extremely powerful, and I mean they're very powerful in on special inputs. It doesn't appear that, so I'm doing a quarter circle forward after jumping over him. Not sure how else do you think I can test that without making the dummy actually program the dummy to do something. Oh, the dash C. Once you've crossed through, your special are what they would be from that new side. So if I start on the right and I cross through to the left and I want to do a quarter back, I have to down to the left, down left to get the quarter back. though depending on how you're spacing, the dash C isn't guaranteed to cross over. Let's see, there's the chain shift. Alright, JC is chargeable. Charge JC causes a hard knockdown, which means you can follow up. Oh, one thing universal about the combo system that I forgot to mention is you only get one jump cancel from a ground normal into an aerial per combo. So I think you can actually, yeah. So that kind of prevents stuff like that from being infinite. I can no longer jump cancel that. You see me holding up in the button inputs there. So you have to get more creative with your combos, which do I still have to? I'm just kind of spitballing here. I've never really practiced Hyde, but I've seen a little bit of them, so just what I can vaguely remember. Trying to figure out what the actual cancel window for the follow-ups to that is. There seems to be a maximum. I think Pogo Stick is his only aerial special though, so you have to take him back to the ground if you want to continue off of an air string. Yeah, you can't do his Rekkas from the air. There we go. Oh yeah, JA hits twice as well. It's pretty easy to bring him back to the ground just with your air normals though. Oh, and Voleno mentioned it earlier, but I didn't actually talk about it much. But like Melty Blood, since this is made by the same creators, this game has reverse beat on normals. I was kind of demonstrating it earlier, but I wasn't actually explaining it. But you can literally normal cancel any normal into any other normal, which is how I go A, B, C, 2A. And it's a strong pressure option to do any of your block strings, but keeping an A normal in reserve. So if they block through all of it, you just cancel to an A normal, and you're safe. Probably not plus. I think all of the A normals are like -1, -2 at most. Purely for that reason. If they were plus, you could just continue frame trap pressure for all the time, because there's no rules on when you can throw that out. But it does create some vaguely universal combo routes that you can kind of ad-lib with if you find yourself, for whatever reason, playing a character you aren't quite familiar with. The fact that you can sweep and then cancel into another normal gives you a makeshift launcher for almost every character. And a lot of characters actually use that as their primary launching method. I know Vatista does her 2C into 5C as her launcher. There's also why when I was talking about Mika's air combo, I was going backwards, saying CBAA. And certain characters make a little more use of that than others. I think Akatsuki, his air combo involves interrupting his downward slam as part of his air combo is JC, which normally just knocks him to the ground. Before they actually hit the ground, you can cancel into JA and actually keep them juggled. It's kind of similar to... I've kind of seen Bang Shishigami combos that function somewhat similarly, though I think he generally uses 5A on the ground to interrupt a J2C knockdown. Hyde also has a unique EX move that's not attached to any of his specials. Usually your special moves are A and B. Yeah, I think I've seen that. I don't know Slayer very well, but I do think I've seen J2K. That's his, J2K pops him back up though, doesn't it? It's still kind of similar. It's, yeah. Now that you mention it, it's his just JD into J2K. Lets him kind of float in the air for like 2 to 3 strings. But yeah, specials are special motion plus A or B. It's Guilty Gear, so punch kick slash heavy slash K is kick. Different game. And then A and B specials C, if you have enough meter, is EX version. And if you don't have enough meter, it just gives you the B version. And then your only real supers are half circle forward, D, universal input for everyone. And then you have a desperation super. Yeah, Guilty Gear's button conventions, I don't quite get either. Like, I know them, I just don't understand what motivated picking what they did, other than them maybe just continuing trying to be in a competition with Melty Blood to be more tuney about their stuff. Yeah, technically as a hierarchy, I guess, if you... A kick is stronger than a punch, and slashing someone hurts more than kicking them, and heavy slash because it's heavy. And then you kind of break down with dust. Don't know what dust is supposed to mean there. But back to Unist, Unil. Everyone also has, is it 30%? Yeah. This column animated super you can do under 200 meter and under 35% health. It actually only does marginally bit more damage than their half circle forward one. And both of them kind of scale pretty harshly, so I mean, they're still useful for getting that extra damage if you just need that bit more to finish them off, but... Oh, absolutely. Hype anime cutscenes are style in. And style is everything. I am personally a fan of Din and Yuzu's. I mean, I like Yuzu's stuff as it is. Got that swift death to evil. And then she just goes nuts. Seth too. Seth is pretty much all the edgy anime style you could ask for. I said I would relearn Yuzu, but Seth is definitely a close second after that. His new stuff. Oh yeah, I forgot that he had that. How do you actually do that? No offense. Oh, that's his Unist combo. Yeah. I played Seth in Unist, and I haven't learned his new paths yet. So I'm not playing him right now in Unist, because this is a fucking weird input. It's a quarterback, then down, then forward, and then up, and then forward after you've switched sides. So I feel like I'm doing a 360 with three or four different inputs along the way. Yeah. Just doing block string into that, or I don't know. I mean, I have to find it and then actually try it out, but part of my problem has been that I'm kind of getting caught on corners thinking I've done more rotation or less rotation than I actually have. So that was kind of what it's supposed to look like. Yeah, but the new kick has to be jump canceled, which is where the up input in my circle comes from. He's also, I think, one of the only characters that has an aerial backdash. And his standard backdash puts him in the air unless you hold down. Yeah. But isn't he can do stuff like this. Oops. And then you get coverage with the projectile. This This is actually a command grab. You need Vorpal to combo off of it. Oh yeah. I haven't practiced this. He requires a lot of Shoryuken inputs as well, because that's this attack. That was stuff. It's got a command grab too. Oh, that's anti-air now, huh? Forgot. Now, is that English Vega or Japanese Vega? Oops. EX command grab, you can follow up without without Vorpal. It's just kind of a sideways smolder. Actually, I should stop doing ABC because you can actually get a little bit more off of ACB. That kind of supposed to work. It's got a dive kick too. I mean, he already has a dive special that he gets a little bit more off of, but sure. You can kind of do double stuff. Yeah. I mean, we do already have Gordeau who keeps the hands in his pockets and then materializes his giant scythe just when it's convenient. They even put in the effort to name all of the different color palettes. So do I actually have to hit with it? Oops. I went under him. Actually, we can take a gander through the color gallery, because there's some that I don't have unlocked. But we can start with Seth, because his are the best. So, his default is Shadow Approaches, and I like Clothed in Fire. But Stuff like light is refuse, rain murder, coin and balance, the edge of poison. Yeah, this is the Japanese version of the game as well, and they still decided to write it in English. Ashes incinerator, natural tree then. Nightcap wine. Coral comet, glorious brown, cosmos black. It's like they hired someone else to name these. And then you just got Mountain July. And they've got new colors in Unist that weren't in Unil. A lot of a number of these are references to stuff that I don't immediately recognize. Migratory locust. Spring blizzard. Banded crate. See. No, Valeno, these guys were 200% serious. Come on, water drips. Successful black. I don't even know how to pronounce this one. Sea soldier, muddied lady, black rabbit. You would hope they're joking. Who else has some good ones? Carmine, I think, had some good ones. Ride on Light, Dead and Violet, Bloody Lost, Wild Fang, Bad Peace Forest. Now you're just picking words. Really? Fade Noise, Black Punishment, Strange Strawberry. Oh, it's the blurbs that are like she wanders, and then it goes on and says more stuff that I don't try to read. Emerald Island. We've had some fun kind of making up stuff. Flash magic. Fake hero. Liquid metal. Noble blood. Vegetarian. Dead in Black. I don't think there's anything that's explicitly referencing something in the name. Certainly not as blatantly as Devil May Cry, but see, I think Gordeau has some good ones too. To go with the vegetarian. Where is Gord? There he is. Yeah, she repeats for a conclusion with the source of old eternal cause and effect, and an elder brother. The sword for the first. Oh, the rest of it's in Twitch, got cut off in PS4 chat. Red. Oh, you got Red Azrael. Vampire and Alcohol. Lancelot Dulac. I mean, Dulake, but Bamboo Scythe. Season of Harvest. Emperor of Walnut, Charlocrot, and then you just have turquoise blue, Atonement Blood, Hard Sleet. Thought I said Hard Sheet for a second there. This one. There you go. One of these two. This one's pretty similar too. But yeah, there's lots of references. I currently have my default phonon as Yukiko, and I think Nanase has a platinum or a Rise. This is Megpoid, I think, one of the Vocaloids. Then sometimes they just reference each other's colors, like I know Blaze Blue's taken to doing that. This guy looks like he could be Yu Narukami. Oh yeah, that's probably the one on Nanase, right? That one at the end. What are her default colors? Oh yeah, the pink and black with the turquoise hair. I think we were talking about last time how Wagner looked like she might have like Mitsuru-ish colors. Puppy-ish girl. Yeah. Has the intro text changed between the versions? That's one thing I haven't really looked into. It doesn't have edge in one of their palettes. Puppyish girl? Okay, I didn't actually know that it changed, so I didn't pay that close of attention. A lot of, pretty much almost all of Enkidu's are just Japanese something. I think a bunch of them are Japanese flowers, but very few of them that I actually recognize. Almost nothing. Ume Murasaki is purple plum. Tampopo I think is dandelion. There you go, Sakura Mochi. Mei Mei Haku Haku. Makes me wonder a bit about his character. That is assuming that the palettes had anything to do with their characters to begin with. He loves to eat flowers. Transylvania's Ghost. Dunkelheit. Some Yoshino. Is this a Yuki Yuna, maybe? No. Never mind. Her name's in the title. I don't think we're gonna find any character that doesn't have at least one edgy thing in their palette title, in a palette title. Maybe. Could also be kind of bulletish, maybe. I mean, like, probably. Which character? I mean, I've jumped through a bunch of them. This one? Vivid navy blue. Could be. I don't think the blues are quite right. But that might be close. Orie, you see her persona as well. His were all pretty toony, but there wasn't anything that really stuck out off the top of my head. Hihirokane. I mean, you got tungsten yellow, whatever that means. Francium maroon. So you got like a mineral or a gem. It's like a mineral or element and then a noun or a color. Except crow. Just trying to make a liar out of me. Gray fox. Thor's hammer. Scorched earth. Red hot steel. Bigfoot. Depression mind. Yeah, I like Orde Shine for it's a bento reference in my head, at least. The ice cold witch. Hyoketsu no Majo. Yeah, Waldstein's interesting in that, like, story-wise, he's, as far as I understand, he's technically a good guy. Even though he looks like the villain. I think... Yeah, Gordeau's, as far as I remember, Gordeau's kind of a bro. He's a bros with Chaos, even though they're like supposed to be around the same age, even though Chaos looks like he's way younger. This guy. Merkava is just a normal guy that got just transmuted, and he's kind of forced to go crazy. Just he's kind of forced to eat people. Merkava's kind of like Arakune without the guilt. But yeah, I imported Unil, and then I double dipped when it came out on Steam, and then I imported this. But the only time I actually had it in English was in the Steam version, and by that point I was just kind of playing with friends, so I never paid any attention to the story. Most of what I've been saying is just kind of what I've heard offhand from people who have either looked into it or just kind of read up on it for laughs. I didn't show off any of Hilda. Hilda's like new on steroids. Yeah. But these are only moderately okay looking attacks, because as soon as you hit other buttons, suddenly your disjointedness goes off the charts. She's got button charges too. See if I remember any combos. Nope. Wait, I think I have to... Yeah. Except for Linne. She's much older than she looks. Yeah, the obvious exceptions. Sure. You got that Ojo laugh. There was someone else that actually has a FLS for their meter instead of EXS. I think Akatsuki? Gotta figure out the timing on that one. But does Eltonum have different meter? Because she's from a different game too. Akatsuki Blitzkrieg. It's called like it's somewhat affectionately called Jew Puncher, but the main characters are actually fighting against Nazis, if I remember hearing correctly. Nope. Eltonum also has EXE. Actually, Akatsuki also has EXE, so I'm pretty sure there was one other character that had FLS. I think Merkava, maybe? I don't think it was Hilda. Yes, Merkava has the same meter that Vatista does. Merkava's weird. He's really good, but it doesn't actually function any differently. It's just labeled something different for lore. I mean, stretchy arms. These are normals. Welcome to O'Neill. Yeah, I don't know why Merkava doesn't have it, but she's too rich to feel pain. Never actually really tried Merkava before. Well, not tried to learn Merkava. I've kind of felt him out and decided I didn't really like him. Wacky inflatable arm tube man thing. Oh wow, yeah, his 5B, just 5B launches. Just because if you need easier air combos. Sounds like something Hilda would do. It's got aerial fireballs, but no ground fireballs. But that's because he's got stretchy arms. These are almost lasers. They're not quite full screen at immediately, but they're pretty darn close. And they do not have they don't have hittable. They don't have hurt boxes, so you can't actually hit his arms when he does this. Anti-air version. Well, it's not laser. I'm not playing Vatista. Vatista has lasers. Okay. Show Vatista lasers. She's the charge character. She's got every direction charges. You got flash kick and a there you go, it's kind of a dive kick. It kind of looks like they may have changed the super flash timing on that one. It comes, the super flash comes later. Super laser. EX laser. This is super laser. And then what's her pillar? Super. I don't know if this did before. I can't remember. I suppose I could just boot it up and check, but her 2A doesn't hit low anymore. I don't think it does. Yeah, it doesn't hit low anymore. So her only lows are this, but she did gain a new force function, which does hit low. But she doesn't have a fast low anymore. But I do believe she has an instant overhead, I just don't know how to do it. Yeah. Grounded force function is a much longer range. Yeah, I was on the receiving end of 2A a lot, so I'm glad it doesn't hit low anymore. She's got another dash C that passes through. Super flash kick. Yeah, I mean, she's got pretty ridiculous pressure because her bombs are button charges. These things are absurd. Challenge mode wants you to use 3. The first time bombs appear in the mission mode, the challenge mode, that asks you to use 3 of them in one combo. I mean, she's the ultimate charge character as far as zoners go. Saki from Arcana Heart has that down for has that title for like a rushdown characters though. Yeah, I mean, you can't have diagonal charges because that you need diagonals in order to charge both in order to have more flexibility with charging your other stuff. Because then the only way to charge back would to literally just hold back, and that forces you to move. Yeah. Kagura doesn't have a forward back charge, but Saki and Vatista both have a forward back charge. Kagura in Central Fiction got an up down charge, which both of those characters I mentioned have had the whole time as well. And then yeah, back forward and down up are the standards for most charge characters. It's forward backs that are a little weird, and the up down. I did want to try showing Merkava's Pillar Super because I don't remember seeing it for a while. Oh, he just eats them. Yeah. He's got a hover too. I don't think I've ever seen anyone other than Voleno use it though, and yeah. She can do her, let's see, grounded ones into aerial ones. I don't remember if she could before. I mean, yeah, she can launch off this too. Fast, small, slow. Yeah. Also true. Chaos is the charge character. I say charge character, I meant puppet character. But he's not very good. Because he's... I was playing someone else recently that I realized he was kind of similar to. I think everyone's moderately better in this, but I think he still suffers from the same problems he did before, and mostly the fact that he only has one attack that's actually as strong, that's actually as useful as a puppet should be, and it's this 2-2 special. Because every other puppet attack locks him into an animation when he's casting it. And I guess the EX thing he can move around a little bit during, but the whole advantage of most puppet characters is the ability to have the puppet launch attacks that can either be used to make the point character safe, or to extend combos beyond what the point character can do on their own. And Chaos's lizard thing can't do that effectively. The only move he does that he can move around while the monster is doing something is that 2-2A, and it's too slow to be used in pressure. It's gimmicky at best if they're like, if you for some reason, if they're and you're playing Chaos and they really respect your pressure, you know, playing Chaos and respecting your pressure, but then like you can do something gimmicky, super gimmicky, and maybe they won't punch you in the face for it, but that's about the best you can hope for. Everything else forces Chaos into an animation that he cannot move during. They're fairly short animations for Chaos, but he can't take advantage of them. This is about the best he can be able to pressure with the monsters stuff. Yeah, we could have could be Carl. Ken is a bit of a weird case. Like Ken's kind of strong. But yeah, I think I was watching a match between Chaos and Orie, and I was just thinking to myself, no, it was Chaos and someone else. And I was thinking to myself, this is like watching Shadow Labris and someone from like Blaze Blue, I think. Orie would have just been Mitsuru versus Shadow Labris, but I think I distinctly remember thinking it was Shadow Labris versus someone from a different game. And I was amused. Show off some supers. I mean, supers are kind of cool. No. Yeah, I don't really know Chaos much. Carmine's kind of interesting. He's blood, literally. Like, he leaves blood piles, can manipulate them and make them do stuff. Carmine's pretty scary. Like, he's got pressure and zoning forever because, like, this stuff is super positive. It's gigantic and oppressive. Oh, ran out of slot time. As fitting with Unil's general theme, he's got pretty big hitboxes. A lot of his stuff, if it leaves a puddle on the ground, it costs him health, Carmine, and then he has that super to... Oops. And then he has this command grab that recovers health. So manipulating it doesn't, but summoning it... Get health back, except I didn't spend any of my health. That was a different move entirely. It was my DP move. Let me reset. Yeah, get health back. Not that one. This is a pretty good special EX move. I think it's invulnerable, hits on both sides, and has a very fast recovery. This thing's super easy to combo into as well, because it goes pretty much everywhere. I don't remember this one. Yeah. And then when it's Carmine's turn, it's pressure everyone all day. Because almost all my pressure is safe. Okay. That's most of the interesting casts. Yeah. She can do fun stuff with it too. Alright. Anything else, guys? That 4B. 4B because we don't have a real reversal. Yeah. Definitely want to get back into learning Yuzu. Her stuff's just so much fun. It's really hard to execute, but I'm gonna have nightmares with it trying to play online. But I just love quick draw style and yeah, being able to tap buttons for Bato strings instead of having to 2-3-6 every single one. Was working on some of her missions, see what else she can do before I started streaming. We'll see how much my wrist can handle though. It was starting to bother me a bit. Oh, this is the long range confirm. Yeah, just a poke. She's got the people's elbow too. Oh. It wants a C hold. Kind of get used to the timing on this. Alright. Because I need to decancel. And just casually confirm into a full combo from full screen. I'm just having trouble getting that quarter circle back. Yup. I wish her voice actress actually whistled, but I'll take the music notes. Oh, no, it's not. Oh, is it? Yeah, it is that. Jump cancel, B to C, C, dash B. Alright, dash B, not dash C. I just got finished doing a dash C combo. Dash B. I'm still trying to get used to the timing for the Batos. The new way of doing these. Yeah, Slayer, and then you got Elizabeth and Margaret in Persona. Judging you after you beat them. I think that's where the delay jumpy comes in, so I have to get them a little bit lower. I did actually play a bit of Setsuko when I was playing Soul Calibur 4. And then they took her out for Alpha Patroclus. Setsuko was a secondary after Amy. And I mean, Alpha Patroclus was okay, but he was lacking two very important motivators, I should say. Might be subconsciously trying to delay the 2C instead. Oops, don't need a demonstration. You know what this looks like. Yeah, I'm starting that a little too high. The B isn't actually connecting. Excuse me. So what kind of style would you like to see Siegfried have? If you're gonna make it distinct, is it still gonna be a greatsword? Okay. Claymore. It's ABAC. Oh, Zasalamel's back. That's cool. There aren't quite enough good scythe users. Can't delay it that much. Alright, maybe I do need a demonstration. That didn't help much. Oops. Yeah. Scythes are designed for harvesting wheat, right? Do I have... Can I turn on buttons? I don't think that was it. Button... No. Battle speed. Oh, I can slow it down, huh? It wasn't, yeah, scythe wasn't originally designed as a weapon. It was a tool. too early. Oh, based. I mean, didn't we just get SNK heroines? Where's that A's not coming out there? I mean, it looks like a fighting game, kind of. I mean, like, I'm not sure I would feel comfortable playing that anywhere that's not private, and I watched Keijo with a group. Where's that? Can do it fine here. Oh, I actually got it that time. And then I botched the ending. Got it. Finally. I'll have to go back to this one, or see if there's an easier route. Does the combo that I used to use still work? Oops. Used to do a teleport with it. If I can do my RDPs right. I apparently can't do RDPs right now. Oh, it would help if I was doing a RDP and not a TP. Alright, yeah, I mean, I kind of expected it would. Yeah, that still works. Did that actually not connect? Yeah, everyone over talking about DBZ fighters, and no one's around to appreciate the fantastic tutorials and Unist. Huh, alright, so that maybe doesn't work anymore. Alright, that kind of works if I cut it a little short. I don't know about Unio, tutorial-wise. I jumped kind of right into it since I had the Japanese copy, and I know some Japanese, but not enough that I was going to sit and translate all the tutorial text. Oh, something more off of grab. Dash C. Oh, okay, and that root. I'm glad that Yuzu is one of the few characters able to actually combo meterlessly off of her grab. Earlier on, one of the earlier combos taught me a route off of dash C that seemed kind of tricky at first, and then I kind of figured out why they did it. Normally after a dash C, I would probably do something like this as a combo, just before, because it's nice and easy, and they want you to add a forward C in the part of there, in there. And it was an extra step that was kind of messing with me when I was trying to learn it. I'm still not great at it. But the extra C actually allows you to do the route without changing sides. Yeah, the level of depth in the Unist tutorial, from what I've heard, is fantastic, and just that at the very base level, they assume that you've never even played a fighting game before. Oh, crossed over. infinite blocks done on elbows. Yeah, actually. Since I got the game in Japanese, I actually didn't know about the chain shift 6+ grid blocks for jump cancel and damage boost either. Though, 6 blocks is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So you've got basically have to have your entire grid basically full. So it's cool that that's there, but yeah, more than half the bar. Yeah, I know you can. I just don't see it happen that often. I gotta switch back to J-C instead of -B now. Or if you've been blocking for a long time and you've been shielding appropriately, if you shield while you're blocking and you don't get grid broken, you gain more grid faster. I guess I can see that, like, especially if you're playing against someone like Phonon and you're just stuck there blocking, and Phonon has no mix-up from range, so you just kind of sit around like this range and you just hold your shield, and she just gives you all the grid that you want. Oops. Yeah, because you've given your opponents all of the grid because they've been blocking. This one is A, B, A, C. Okay, so the same thing I was doing before. It's a lot shorter of a delay than I want to keep putting in. Guilty Gear still has a very creative tutorial, which I still give it credit for. Oops. They gamified the whole process of learning their game, and it was great. Yeah, speaking of info dumps, I've been playing a bit of Monster Hunter Worlds. This is my first Monster Hunter, and I've been seeing people say this is the most accessible Monster Hunter, and I just... If this is accessible, then past games must have been terrible in terms of accessibility. Almost. Though the load screen essays, I don't think are really intended for the players to kind of read in the info dumps kind of way. Like, it's not essential information, it's more like flavor text. Oh. want to not hold forward during that. Yeah. Yeah, the new one gives you like a block of text with maybe a single static image in it, and then maybe goes on for maybe 1 to 4 pages worth of information, and then just stops there. It's very much a tell don't show type of tutorial, which is better than nothing, but not nearly as helpful. Oops. Yeah, it's all about hunting BAMs and almost nothing else. Stop holding forward during that. How am I getting the slow version of that coming out? Berserker makes some of the Monster Hunter weapons seem... actually, some of the Monster Hunter weapons make the Berserker and Terra feel fast. Oh, I almost had that one. Nope. Berserkers have a roll and have a dodge roll from level 1 now. Yeah, the awakening, class awakening stuff. Realizing that the awakening news for Kiederen was a while ago now, so we're actually starting to approach the time when it might be coming towards stateside. Wow, PS4 stream chat's getting a little crazy there. Yeah, over half the classes getting revamps, or not revamps, but new stuff in the Awakening. Looks like it's behaving again. Why am I crossing over with that? I mean, where's the lie? Got it. Oh, assault combo. Okay, let's see. Then dash C into the thing I've been doing, and then the more of this thing I've been doing. Okay. Spotify songs for this game music. I don't think I can do that through PS4 streaming interface. Oof. Getting used to that string. Oh, this thing. Okay. This was one of the combos that kind of hung me up on the previous game, doing, oops. Oh, this is a standing low. Okay. Doing the A Bato launcher into charged J2C. I'm very much the same way, Techie Cat. Tab targets are just completely boring. I can't get into them. Alright. Aerial force function, huh? That'll be interesting. Into dash C, into basically all the things we've done before. Got it once and never again. There we go. Just had to complain about it. Just finding the timing on the cancel after the jump. Whoops. Well, I mean, I'm on the arcade stick, so it's not hard for me to accidentally tap an A in addition to a BC, because the next thing after in the combo was a BC, and I probably just had a finger on A as well, because I'm not used to making that link yet. There we go, that's what it's supposed to be. almost. This is supposed to be one of the better damage combo routes, which is why it's still worth learning, but I just cannot do that link. I think it's later than I expect, but the window's small. I think I might have found it. There we go. Oh, I actually want to... Oh, add an extra super at the end there. Oof. See, I'm kind of the other way there. I actually really like leveling and grinding in Terra. I've been through like 16 or 17 different characters at this point. Don't even have some of them. Terra? I think Terra is actually certain classes. Terra with a controller, I actually prefer. I mean, I play all Terra with a controller, all the classes. Especially Warrior. I think controller is actually more, as far as accessing your shortcuts, I think controller is actually more accessible than a keyboard. Once you actually, yeah, because there's modifiers on your L1, R1, and L1 and R1. And they change with the function of their face buttons when you hold them. Like, I can actually access everything on my bar. Oh, you can't play Terra with a fight stick because you need two sticks, one for movement, one for camera. But on a pad, I prefer Terra on pad. I got that end run, end hit. Weirdly, Monster Hunter already kind of gives me a bit of motion sickness. Having an actual VR camera is something I don't think I would survive. Why is he? Maybe A dash B 236 AD. I mean, it's not the entire raid, but sometimes I do boss battles all the way zoomed in just because our tank hasn't brought the boss away from a wall, and if I want to DPS and get back crits, I gotta put my back up against a wall. Yeah. Oh, it still didn't hit. Oops. Tiring, yeah. Still kind of getting the slow version of that hyde shooting sometimes. The Labo Monster Hunter. Oops. Maybe I am actually hitting that and it's... No, that's where I dropped. Oh, actually, that derp. I got it, and then I accidentally nicked the reset button before I completed it. Sad face. Not like I wouldn't have to come back to it and practice anyway. I know I did it once, so that's all that's important. Oh no, I nicked the reset button by accident completely. It's not like I was going for a reset because I thought I had dropped it. It just happens to be a little too close. Why is this not working now? That's a good question. I haven't actually checked recently. The North American version did come out earlier this month, but I think overall it's been pretty badly outshadowed by DBZF. So I couldn't tell you. I may be done. My fingers aren't doing what I'm asking them to do anymore. Yeah. What is the next one? Corner version. Is this... No, this is different. Yeah, this will be important to learn too. Uses the teleport to space myself in the corner. Holding after the J2C, huh? Corner grab, at least play the preview. Yeah, it was, I think if it was anything like the Untitled release, French Bread made it, but Arxis was actually the company that helped distribute it in North America. I think they may have also were responsible for at least helping with the console port. So Arxis had a hand in this, and a little cynical part of me is convinced that they actually didn't want it to succeed, and that's why they put it in the shadow of their main title, so to speak. And this is an aerial confirm off aerial Bakto. Do they? I knew that they were kind of involved, but I don't know the details about DBZF's production. Either way, someone didn't do enough research, or was made kind of a malicious something of a malicious decision to put the release dates that close. Interesting. This just kind of layers on the one I hit earlier off of a better starter. I think that's 4C starter. Oh gosh, they're everything they were teaching me to do, and now they're changing it on me. Oh, interesting. Gets you a veil off too. Ooh, 200 meters. 4,000 damage. Not sure that's worth it, but if it'll get a kill. Probably much easier to go into a veil off combo though. Like this one. Jesus, this is gonna be stupid damage off of 2A, 2A. Yep, 4K damage off of 2A, 2A. And this is damage up, so even more damage. Disgusting. Okay, and then we're into the more technical, the other stuff, more tutorial-y stuff. This is yeah. Oh, admittedly I did spend I did mention earlier when I was going over some of my reviews that I did notice I started a bunch of combos off 2A, just kind of as a mix-up or pressure, and didn't expect to go very far with them, and this very handily proves me wrong. That there's if you know the route, then you can get plenty good damage off of 2A with meter. Though doing 2A, 2A, I don't know. I mean, it's part of it's a hit confirm thing. You use two of them to recognize that you hit confirmed, but unless you're prepared to go that entire route, yeah. True on both cases. I follow a YouTuber that was under the impression that because of DBZF's atrocious tutorial slash challenge mode that he doesn't think that the Arxis people were permitted to do their own tutorial slash challenge mode either. Because otherwise it would have been much more much better than it ended up being. Elbow into 2-2A, or into 2A. Still get 3,000 damage. Yeah, I mean, if you were gonna expect a lot more casual players, especially in the way that a lot of their other stuff, a lot of their other game mechanics were aimed for, though I think that they should have incorporated a more thorough tutorial like the likes that Unist has. Even if it's not quite as well researched, I think they could have still done better than they did. Yeah, that's the challenge mode I was referring to before. This portion is kind of what's usually at the start of a Blaze Blue challenge mode. Alright. I think I'm done for tonight, guys. Thanks for coming by and chatting. It was a lot more chatter going on than I was expecting, and it was great talking with everyone. I had expected this stream to only go for about an hour, and here we are at 3 hours and 40 minutes, so there's that. Yep, so... hope. Thanks. Hopefully do something next week. Still not entirely sure. I'm kind of in the middle of different things. I had to cut short a Golden Sun playthrough because it was kind of boring people. I did a Fire Emblem thing before. I might go back to a different Fire Emblem thing next. Maybe I'll do more fighting games. They might be more of a breather between runs, though. And it's almost as if I'm both a Yuzu player and a Lychee player. Alright, good night. How do I turn this off? I don't usually stream from my PS4. Alright, good night.